Hello, guys. Happy Wednesday. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Paul Honeyman. Auntie Anne is in the house. Hello, Greg. Hello. What's going on? Hi, kitty. Frankie is at his house right now. She'll be back in a little while, but I had kitty duty, so I had to feed her when I got home from church. And her neck is looking so much better. It's just hairless now. There's just like one little scab dot or dot of scab on her neck. You can kind of see it there, but like she's just hairless right there. She should have named her Hairless and not Toothless because she definitely got teeth. Oh, yeah. She likes to chew on everything right now. She's at that stage. Yes, you're so cute. But this was like the abandoned cat week because our friend actually ended up getting a cat that it got stuck in their car, like under the hood. And the teenage son turned on the engine and like ripped one of the cat's legs off. And they took it to the emergency and they sewed it up. And now they have a cat that's a little bit older than Toothless. I think it's about 3-4 months old from looking at it. So that's fun. Pettit Jean, River Homestead, what's going on? Charlene Grady, hello. Kentucky Bluegrass Living. Good evening, Mrs. Mississippi. That's me. What's happening? So yeah, so I've had actually quite a few days where I've had kitty duty where I've had to feed her or whatnot. So, but she's getting big, and Frankie started giving her free reign in her room while she's in there. She doesn't have free reign of the house yet because she's just so little still. Yes, I know you like my earrings. That and she could just get under and behind so many things right now that we're just gonna wait till she's a little bit bigger before we let her have full reign. But she definitely likes running around and playing. And you're not gonna rip my earrings out, thank you. No, we're not gonna do that. But she's awfully cute, and she got a little full belly right now because she just ate. So she's pretty cute. She's fun, and she likes to like if I'm wearing a hoodie, like I'll play with her. Like I'll swing it back and forth and she'll like play with it. And then she'll just kind of fall asleep, like right here. And that's usually about the time Frankie wants her back. I'm like, oh, now that I've worn her out, now you want her back. Lundy, settle down. So, but she's fun. She's a sweet girl. She likes to cuddle. She likes to be carried around everywhere because she's so used to it. I know those earrings look like so much fun. I know. She's like, let me play with those, Grandma. She does look so much like Toothless. I know, she really does. I'm curious to see if she will still look like Toothless when she's, a little more mature. But like when we first got her, she really looked like her, like a lot. Or him, I guess. Toothless was a boy, I think. I don't know. Does it matter with a dragon? I don't know. But like right now, she's just kind of chilling. She's just whatever. She's fun. She's just happy as long as you're paying attention to her. She just wants to be with people. So, and she's a super messy eater. Like I had her little thing of food over here and she was getting it all over me, but she's good at that. She's good at that. Yes, Toothless the dragon was a male. Yeah, that's what I thought. But, and she's a little girl, but she reminds me, she does this all the time. And all I can think of, remember that movie Flight of the Navigator with Pee Wee Herman as the voice of the spaceship? Like that's how you flew it was with the two things. That's what I always think of when she does that. Like she's Flight of the Navigator. And there was that little, I don't remember what he named it, but it was that little thing that lived in his backpack, that little alien that he found that was like eating candy. That was like super cute. Anyway, the female night furry is white. Oh, see, it's been so long. Frankie was little when that movie came out, and I haven't seen How to Train Your Dragon in a minute. So it wasn't one of the ones that she watched on repeat when she was little. I feel like she watched Brave a lot. Frozen, she watched a lot. Frozen was really like the last movie that she really obsessed over like that. But yeah, she definitely had a few that she watched a lot when she was that age. Huh. Yeah. Hello, Palmetto. What's going on? But yeah, she's pretty cute. Pretty stinking cute. Leonard Mountain Homestead. What's up, Chris and Amy? Got my special guest star here, Toothless. She's gonna play with my hair now. I'm gonna play with my hair. As long as you don't rip my earrings out, we're good. She's so stinking cute. I can't stand her. Ah, she's so cute. Literally can't stand her. I've seen the original 2 movies and the series on Netflix and the last movie. Oh, see, I only saw the first movie. I never watched. I didn't even know there was a series. I think I remember hearing about it, but I never saw it. And then we haven't seen the new live action one, which is kind of funny because you know that the dragon's not live action, so just the people. But it's all good. Neil S, what's going on? What's going on? When are you finishing your other sleeve? I'm not. I have no plans. I never had plans to do a second sleeve. The tattoo that I do have on this arm, well, I have Frankie's, well, my watch band's kind of covering it up right now, but I have Frankie's tattoo that I got for her when she was really little, that has her name and her date of birth. And then this one I got like 2 years ago when I went home to visit California, and it's a poppy and a magnolia together. And that was just sort of like a spur of the moment, which I've never done before. I've never just gotten a spur of the moment tattoo before. It's really my first time ever doing that. Everything else I've like thought about, like whatever. Well, that's not true. This one was a little bit spur of the moment. This little tiny one at the end of my sleeve, but most of them are pretty well like thought out and planned. But yeah, no, just the one. I got really, fit everything I wanted on there. So one sleeve is good for me. I'll need to. Yeah, she's having a good old time here. I am telling you. I showed off the baby at the end of the live today. Oh, did you? Oh, I missed it. I had popped into Mama V's because I wanted to see how she was feeling because I know last week she was kind of struggling with her mouth. And she seemed like she's doing much better. So, just saving up for the flamingo migration scene for, oh my God, that would be awesome. You just totally gave me a really good idea, Paul. I would love that. Troy says, my sister Amy Leonard sent me over. Yay, Troy. I love it. I love it. I love it. We've had a rough week here, guys. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's been a rough week. We've, you guys know, I talked about it before. We had lost a few lambs due to wet pasture scours and one that developed pneumonia because we had so much rainy, wet, and it was kind of cold weather. And that was Milky Way, and she didn't make it. Anyway, we ended up, we lost a few lambs over the last few months due to that. And then I went and got a few more ewes, and those were all the market lambs that were just a little bit smaller and seemed a little bit like weaker. So we were kind of like, okay, well, it was just the lambs were just not as high quality or whatever. They weren't as strong. But I lost 2 more, another market lamb, and then I lost a registered. And guys, I'm doing all the things. Like I changed their diet. I've been giving them anti-diarrheal. I was giving them probiotic and vitamins, and they'd all been dewormed, and all the things that you could do to like prevent this. Well, then we had rain, right? And then we had rain into extreme heat wave. We were under a heat advisory. I think it's lifted now. It might still be active. I don't know. But Monday was real bad, like right out the gate. Like 7 o'clock in the morning, it was like 90 degrees and 125% humidity. It was like ridiculous. And all the animals were struggling. But Dan, my weathered goat, and Cy, our ram, and Mabel, one of the registered ewes, were all down. And it came on fast. It came on quick. Dan never even had diarrhea at all, any of the times. But they got what's called frothy bloat, which is like, in my opinion, now that I've dealt with it a few times, is so much worse than regular bloat. Regular bloat, you can, like, if you catch it, and you usually can see the signs, like their one side's distended. You can rub it out. You can do a baking soda thing, and they all have access to baking soda too, by the way, and minerals and all the things. Like, you name it, I did it. Anyway, so they ended up getting, all three of them Monday morning got frothy bloat, and I did everything. We were literally rotating through. Frankie was on one end, I was on the other, and I'd be like, okay, come here, I need your help with Sai. Let's get him up again. And then she'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go check on Dan and like try him again. And like we were just back and forth trying to like save everybody. But sadly, we lost all three of them on Monday. So that was a big bummer. So it sucked, especially losing Sai, because he was the first one we got. He would like come running across the pasture when I called him to me. He was so sweet and gentle. I was so excited to have his babies. He was such a good little ram. And that heat wave that we had just sent them right in from like wet pasture into like almost like heat wave shock, like what do you call it? Like heat exhaustion shock, and just sent their little bodies into shock. And so it sucked because we were literally laying out in the field for hours just trying to like save them. And you know, at that point you've sweat off all your bug spray, you're covered. I am like covered in bites. I was frustrated, I was tired, I was sore, I was all the things. I was mad, I was sad, all the things, you know, because it sucks. So we are back to having 4 ewes now and 2 goats and no rams. So that's where we're at right now. There's the update of my crappy week. There it is. SKW Lifts, what's up, girly? Long time no see. Are you coming to Freedom Weekend with your uncle? Yes, this is Toothless, as in like the dragon. Frankie got her a couple weeks ago, and I'm on grandma duty right now because she needed to eat. So she had a botfly in her neck, which is why her neck is hairless on that side. So, but she's healed up nicely. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Auntie Anne. Carl Lewis, the man with a plan. What's happening? If she bore those goats out, maybe, yeah. Oh no, too many vacation days not coming. Oh no. Yeah, the cat's name is Toothless because she looks like the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon. She's like all eyes and ears, and like she's got a, like she's when she's biting, it's hard to tell, but like when she stays still, she's like this all the time, and she looks like Toothless. So that's what Frankie and Trey, her boyfriend, was like. She looks like Toothless. I know. Is that your name? So I said we hardly ever call you that. We call you Kitty and Baby and Kidday. Kidday. What are you doing? Yeah, she's pretty cute. Said you have such a beautiful spirit, and the love you show your animals is beautiful. Oh, thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. It was definitely a lot of tears were cried in the past year. Poor Frankie's trying to like console me, and I was just like, I don't know what else to do. I've done everything. I can't save them. Like, it's just, that's just the worst feeling. That's just the worst feeling when medically I know I'm doing everything I can do. Like, it's just, this is the wettest we've had. Let me see if I get the numbers right. We've had 44 inches of rain since January. And normally for the whole year, we get like 54 inches. And actually, it's probably more than 44 because we had like 3 more rainstorms after I heard that number. So we're only like 10 inches shy for the whole year since like April. Like we got all our rain in like 2 months. And so it's just created like a disaster. And poor Mike, like the whole front yard, he tried to mow some of it yesterday. It's so tall. Like every day I go out there and I'm up to my hip almost now in grass, whether I'm in the pasture or in the front with the birds. And I could come in and I'm like pulling ticks off myself because you sweat off all your bug spray like right away, and even spraying it on your clothes. Like I sweat it off and then I'm covered in bugs and bites. So much fun. I love that for me. for your loss, but your channel is information. A guy in my area is having problems with his goats, and I told him about scours I learned from here. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. At least maybe he could, prevent. But like, yeah, it's hard because, short of having an area like a dirt lot that you can put everybody on to keep them off the pasture for X amount of time, and the whole point is that you want a flock that's going to be hardy to the conditions here. It is wetter here than in California, for example. But this was also an unusually wet, like crazy. And basically what it does is in the grass, when it has that much water, it loses its nutritional value or its not value. Like it's like eating too much sugar and their bodies aren't getting the nutrients they need. So, I've been checking their Mancha score, like you can like look at their gums on like sheep and goats. And if their gums are pink, then they're fine. If they're light, if they're getting too light, that means they're getting like vitamin deficient. But the thing that's really crazy, and this is why I'm like scratching my head a little bit about it, especially the Sai, he was really good about eating, and so was Bernice. They were really good about eating their minerals, like constantly nibbling on their minerals and doing all the things. And they're still like, and it went fast and it does that. It goes fast. Like they go from pink to white sometimes. And that's exactly what happened. It just hit them so hard. And you can feel in their gut, like with bloat, it's hard. And it's usually on the left side. And it'll be like rock hard and sticking out like distended. That's regular bloat. And you can usually rub it out, give them baking soda, and like you can usually save them. Like if you catch it early enough. Watery bloat or frothy bloat, their gut feels like a water balloon. Like it's not like normal, like you would push on it and feel like a normal stomach. It's like sloshy. It's like you took out all their insides and just filled it with water. And they end up when they're dying, they end up like foaming out the mouth. And it's awful. That's why they call it frothy bloat. It's awful, and you can't save them. Like I mean, I did all the things that's supposed to save them for frothy bloat, and none of it worked. So it's a bummer. My cat has white gums at the moment, but I'm going to take him to the vet to see if there's anything else I can do for them. Oh no. I don't know about I guess they're supposed to have pink gums. I never thought about it for other animals. I just know with sheep and goats, and that's the extent of my own knowledge on that as far as that goes. But that makes sense if the cat's maybe deficient in something too. Hey, the Williamsons. Those quail eggs are going to be hatching any day now. Are they going to be hatching while you're gone? I feel like they're going to be hatching while you're gone. If I did my math correctly. Fell asleep after coming in from the heat today. Oh, I don't blame you, David. It is hot out there. I don't blame you at all. Billy Tyson, what's going on? Hello, lonely hitchhiker Kent. What's happening? No, I hope not. When are they supposed to hatch? Because you started them like a week ago, right? Like, or no, wasn't it like Monday of last week? I feel like that's when you sent me that text message. Am I wrong? I don't know. My days are kind of blending together. Between kitty duty and rubbing down sheep and goats, I lost track of time. Oh, it was Wednesday, so it's been a week. So, yeah, they're totally going to hatch while you're gone, for the record. Like 100%. They're totally going to hatch while you're gone. Like, they're totally going to hatch. I know that they say quail take 18 days. No, they never take 18 days. It's usually like, mine always start hatching like 13, 14, 15. And then sometimes I'll get one or two that hatch on like day 20. But I'm just saying, be prepared. They may be hatched by the time you get back. So tell your boys, take care of your birds. Whoever's staying at the house, tell them to take care of it. Saw the new AC, old one died. Oh no, Billy, that's not fun. Oh no. Yo! Just kidding. Yo, County, Arkansas. Mike Birch, what's happening? Are you having fun chewing on my finger? You're so cute. I can't stand you. my gosh, she's so cute. She just lays on her back and then wants to like chew on my finger because she's so cute. She can't stand it. She's so cute. Did you have a lot of pets growing up? I had not a lot of pets. We always had a family dog. So when I was born, we had a dog. That dog died when I was like 8 or 9. Then we got another dog. We got a schnauzer. Just now, the schnauzer, he was fine, but like he was kind of weird. He really only liked my dad. So when I was about 12, I proposed that I get my own dog. And so I saved up money and bought my own dog. And my mom is so weird. She would never just let you get like a mutt, like rescue a mutt from the pound or something. It had to be a dog that was like a purebred, and it had to be like, whatever. Anyway, so this was a gazillion years ago. I was 12 and the dog was $500. And that was a lot of money back then for me. So I had to babysit forever to pay that dog off. And luckily the lady let me make payments. So that was nice. And had her, in fact, I was moved out living on my own, and she stayed with my parents because I wasn't allowed to have dogs in my apartment, and they said I could keep the dog at their house. We never had cats. We had a parakeet for a little while when I was really little. It died. I don't remember specifics. I was like really little. I was like 3. And then I had a snake, had a ball python, and we were getting the house fumigated one day. So I had to put it outside in its terrarium, and I put it away from the house. And the guy moved it, put it up against the house, and when I came home, it was dead. It had been poisoned. Like he sprayed it. So Monty died. It was Monty Python. He died through no fault of my own. And then that's really it. That's all the animals I had when I was a kid. So I didn't really have a lot of animals growing up. I always wanted more animals. My mom, as much as she loves animals, I don't know, she was always weird. She was on this big kick, like you couldn't have 2 dogs, but then we finally got 2 dogs. So I don't know. And she hates cats. Like, right, I even tried, her dog just died, by the way. She had to have it put down because it was old and sick, all the things. And mind you, my mom's not the best at training her animals or like teaching them stuff and being like thorough. And now that she's getting older, she's really not good at that. And she wants to get another dog. And I was like, Mom, if you got a cat, super easy for you to litter box train. And I'm also thinking, like, if something happens and you have to be at the doctor or something, like, you don't have to worry about a cat the way you do a dog. Like, you just have enough food out for it and water and a kitty box, and it's fine for a couple of days until somebody can get to it. Whereas a dog, like, So I don't know. She's like, absolutely not. I am not a cat person. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. She's weird. But yeah, so no, I didn't grow up with a lot of animals. We had dogs, and that was about it. So I wanted a chicken so badly. There was somebody giving away chickens one day, and I wanted one so badly, and my mom said no. My friend got one, and she got to keep it and raise it as a pet, and I was so jealous because I wanted a chicken so bad. But now, joke's on her, I have all the chickens and ducks and geese. So there. I had the snake for my act. I don't know about that. It's been acting up today, your internet. Yeah, it's possible. I think the heat is just making everything act up. Like right now, I wish I could just like lay down right now with you guys because like my shoulder is on fire. Because I was flipping animals around too much the last few days. So songbirds are useless. They're beautiful. I like songbirds. I like to sit on the porch and listen to them and see them. Yeah. Yeah, it's my parents' fault that Mike has to put up with the farm. That might be true. It In fact, I never had a cat when Jaden was our first cat. And when Mike and I were both, let's see, we were just married, right? Yeah, we were just married because we were in the 2 bedroom. So we had just moved into the 2 bedroom apartment in the same complex that I was living in. And Jaden, I would get home from the bar from work at like 3 in the morning, and she'd be sitting there waiting for me. So I thought she was homeless. Like I thought she didn't have a home, right? So I started feeding her, and then one day, like a couple days later, it was raining cats and dogs, no pun intended, and she was on my little back patio and started whining to come in. And so I let her in, and anyway, long story short, ended up keeping the cat. I I did find the lady that owned her, but she was like, "She's the meanest cat, you know, you can keep her." And I was like, "Okay." And she was the best cat ever in the world. Like, I loved that cat. I mean, not the best cat ever in the world, but she was pretty awesome. Bunko's probably the best cat ever in the world. And I love Marty, don't get me wrong. Marty's my bud. He sleeps with me every night. But Bunko's my homie. Anyway, and then this one, I love her too. I guess you just love them all. But I would get a million. I would have all the animals if I could. Like, and I'm like, I want another horse. Like, I dreamt that Beulah was like being really nice to me and wanted to be cuddly, and I was like, oh, Beulah. And then I woke up and I was like, that was a lie. Like, you cannot cuddle up against Beulah. Like, she doesn't nuzzle you. She doesn't want affection. Like, she tolerates your presence most of the time. Ah, I just want a pocket pony that I can like hop on and ride. That's what I want. You love your canaries? I bet. I bet. I used to have a rose-breasted cockatoo. When I was 21, I got her. I had her until just a couple years ago. She developed a tumor and she died. Um, Wait, what? Oh, how did y'all go from city life to country life? Oh, well, Mike was off grid before Mike was cool. Before off grid was cool. He grew up in the sticks in the Smoky Mountains in like the place where they filmed Deliverance. Like, not kidding. Um, and they bounced around a lot, and then they got this little piece of land, and they had no running water, no electricity, and they just started building their house as they like lived on this little patch. And then it burned down before it was finished, and of course there was no like homeowners insurance or anything. So his parents left and he stayed and worked, and then joined the military when he was 17. So he's always lived very like off-grid, rugged, grew up like if they didn't get any deer, then they didn't eat. Like, that's how he grew up. So I did not grow up that way. I grew up like 15 minutes from San Diego Bay, and but always wanted animals. And then I did date a guy that lived a little bit further out in like kind of in the county, kind of a little more country area. And we had chickens and we raised a pig and we had a pond that had like turtles and fish and whatever. And that was like my first foray into all that. And I was like, that's what I want. I want to raise my own stuff. And then we got married. Mike and I got married, not me and that other guy. But anyway, long story short, it was always like, it just became a thing, especially after Frankie was born, that I was like, I really want to grow our own food. And like, I want to live like that. And so then we moved to a more rural area where we had a little bit of land and we could start having animals like goats and sheep and raise pigs and chickens and quail and all the things. And we did that for like, 8 years, I think we lived there. And then we wanted to do it on a bigger scale, so we came here. And that is the story. So it wasn't really much of an adjustment, I don't think. Like, there's a learning curve to like learning how to process your own meat and preserve it and things like that. But I don't know. I don't have a problem. You're so stinking cute. I can't stand it. Oh, rip my hair out. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. It's almost 7:30 here and it's still 95 degrees. I don't doubt it. Our poor air conditioner has been like running nonstop. And then like you walk outside to do chores and like it's so, because we had so much rain and then it got super hot, the bugs are so bad right now. The skeeters are skeeting. Let me tell you what. And the biting gnats, they love me. Everything's trying to kill me right now outside. So in the morning when I do my chores, I've got on long pants, my muck boots up to my knees, and like an undershirt and a hoodie to try to keep the bugs off me. And then I still spray myself, and then I still sweat through all of that because it's that hot right now. And I'm just covered in bites and all kinds of stuff. It's so much fun. I love it for me. So said you might rock that tank top better than me. Not by much though. It's because my darn arthritis. I'm out of shape now. That's the problem, dude. I was like ripped, like biceps, and now not right now. It's been a struggle to like get everything back from having my back and hip issues that I've been dealing with. I'd run 3 miles a day. Now I walk like 4.5 miles a day. It's not the same. It's not the same. I miss running, but my body said no. Is Tashka still chasing the spicy sky raisins? I know, right? Actually, I was surprised. The swelling went down like right away, like the next day. But what she did do, so she was in, you guys may remember, we did a video like a week or 2 weeks ago on it. I don't remember when I did that video. But anyway, she was in with Sai, just her and Sai. Well, obviously Sai passed away. And I didn't want to move her that day because, you know, it was already like traumatic for everybody. Also, she hates moving paddocks. It's a whole thing with her. You gotta like psych her up. You gotta get her a leash. Like, she's fine once she figures out that's what you're doing, but she gets anxious because she thinks everything's electric. She respects the electric fence to a ridiculous degree. So this morning, I start to get worried because this is like, that was Monday. So the first morning she was there, whatever. I spent extra time with her yesterday. And I was like, okay, like probably this weekend I'll either move her in with the birds or I'll move her down to the lower paddock with everybody else. Just because she doesn't need to be by herself, you know. But I was like, I'm not going to do it today. There was something else going on. I didn't have time. I was like, it's going to be a whole 30-minute production with that heifer. I was like, we'll do it tomorrow. So today I go out there and I'm calling to her. And usually she comes right over to the fence and like talks to me, whatever. Nothing. And I'm like, okay, sometimes she's dead to the world. Like she sleeps hard. And I'm like, this is not her normal time to be dead to the world. Usually that's like midday when she's like dead to the world and like you call her and she doesn't get up. So I go over there to go feed her and I'm walking over and I'm looking down in the paddock and I'm thinking, did she get out? Like, is she in the lower paddock? And I'm looking and then I see her out of the corner of my eye. She has gotten in with the sheep and the goats and Kusi. However, she got in the top portion of the paddock. So because we're strip grazing them. So she got into the piece that they already grazed. So she's up against the fence between the paddock she was in and that. And now she's like in the middle. And so the other one is she won't cross that line to actually physically be with them. So she's like one space over. And I'm like, Tashka, seriously, you moved yourself? So she moved herself into the paddock. And I think she climbed over because she doesn't like the electric fence and the electric on that side runs on the bottom. So I think she went over the fence and then realized where the electric was on there and just was like, I'll stay here. So then today I had to move her in with everybody else because she was over there with no water and no shade right there because we hadn't moved, you know, everything was moved. So she moved herself like, you know, just where she wanted. Like, just, you know. Well, they used to be a lot more toned, but thank you. Thank you. I'm assuming that's Wayne. But I don't know. We can arm wrestle later and figure it out. No, actually, I'm a terrible arm wrestler because I have T-Rex arms. So I can't arm wrestle people. They're already like over me when they try to wrestle me. But anyway. That's right. Hit that thumbs up button. We recently joined the gym. It feels so good to work out again. That's awesome. I mean, I work out, like I've always worked out every day for like a long time. However, between my arthritis and that stage of my life that many of us in our 40s and 50s are in, has wreaked havoc on everything. So it's been a little bit of a struggle for me to like I don't know. It's just annoying because like I'm doing all the same things, but it's not working the same as it used to. Except for the running. I'm not really running anymore. I'm walking instead of running. But I mean, I'm walking at a 4% incline at 3.6 miles an hour for 70 minutes. Like I'm hoofing it, like uphill, you know, but with my little tiny legs. Because I'm only 5'2", guys. And I have no legs. I am all torso. Like, for those of you, if you see me in person, sit next to me if you don't believe me. Sit next to me, and then like you could be taller than me. You could be 6 feet tall. If I sit next to you, people are gonna think we're the same height because I have the longest torso of like all 5 feet of me is torso. We have no legs. 0 legs. I need to order some more shirts. The logos are disappearing on all of them except my safety soft shirt. I know. I always wash mine and then hang them. I don't put them in the dryer. Anything that has logos on it, not just my stuff, but like anything, because I feel like the logos just come on things. So I always try to like lay them or hang them up, you know. Smurfette's taller sister, right? Maybe. Telling you. Look it up. 13 people have died in the last 5 years while at the gym and only 1 person from eating a donut. Yeah, I mean, you know, that kind of, it does add up though. You know, I mean, I've always eaten healthy and I mean, I don't know. Yeah. No waist on the legs. Yeah, I'm curvy. I'm curvy. I've always been curvy. Even when I was at my leanest and like you could really see all my muscles, I was still very curvy. But now I just feel curvier and not as muscular, which makes me angry. Even though I'm still like doing all the things, it's not like it was. You are just a little ball of all the things right now, Miss Ma'am. Yeah, I'm 5'2", so she's a little shorter than me. 4'6". Oh my goodness, your great grandmother was only 4'6". My I don't know. I don't remember how tall my great grandmother was because I never met her. I've seen like one picture of her. But my grandmother was like 4'9". And that was before she started shrinking. So I don't know what she was because I like towered over her. So I think she was probably like, by the time it was all said and done, I think she was like 4'6" maybe. She was pretty tiny. She's pretty tiny. Willie Nelson has outlived Richard Simmons. Exercise is bad for you. I know, and look at Keith Richards. I mean, you know, I'm just saying. I'm not saying, but I'm saying. That's true. You did. I'm long in the back as well, and I have to look for tall shirts or my belly hangs out. Yeah, that must be hard when you're a guy, because you know, not that it's not hard when you're a woman, because certain things fit you really funky. I'm tired of squinting at the screen. Oh, thank you, John Gerson. Thank you. Yeah, no, I get you. I get you for sure. But yeah, I mean, I like exercising. And I still do my weightlifting. I just have to do certain things a little bit differently because of my decrepit back and hip. But it's all good. It's all good. Hi. Oh, you're so stinking cute. I can't stand it. I won't eat your face. I get like cuteness aggression really bad. I'm like Lenny. Like I want to fight the baby. Like it's bad. She does that. It's so cute. You're so cute. I want to eat your face. Look at each little face. Look at those little toe beans. Look at those little toe beans. So cute. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't stand it. I just want to eat her face. So you guys will appreciate this. So complete chicanery. So we had pantry boxes today at church. So Frank and I were at church. Well, actually, Trey picked her up this morning, her boyfriend, and took her to church because they were packing the boxes. I didn't have time to do that this morning because they, during the summer for like 2 months, they changed the schedule. Instead of packing boxes on Sunday night, they want to do it Wednesday morning. And I'm like, and then they take a break and then we come back in the afternoon and do them. And I'm like, no, I can't split my day up like that. Anyway, so he picked her up and took her to the church thing, and then they went swimming and then met back at church for the handouts. And then she wanted to go to a friend's house for dinner because she hadn't seen that friend like at all really since like May. And so Trey's cousin lives across the street from us, like across the way. And so sometimes like he'll come hang out here if he has the car and like wait for his mom to come back to his cousins or whatever. So she said, can Trey come by and can you guys put some air in his tire? Because we tried at the gas station, but like the thing wasn't reading correctly and we didn't want to like blow up the tire, I guess. Anyway, so we were like, yeah, that's fine. So anyway, so he came by, but he had like time to kill. And since Frankie left, he didn't have time to spend with her. Like she just went to go be with her friends. So anyway, Mike suckered him into harvesting some green beans for him. And then he said, you can take my car and go pick up Frankie after you harvest the green beans, bring her back here, and then you can take the car home and then bring it back. Bring it back in the morning when your mom goes to work. So he was like, okay. We've done that before where we're like, you can take the other car and then come back because he doesn't live that far from us, but it's just easier, you know. So anyway, so then he has a way to like still spend time with Frankie and hang out with us or help us with something. So he's out there harvesting green beans and I don't know what else right now. So saving Mike from having to do it because Mike wants to can a bunch of stuff between tonight and this weekend for us to like put up for the year from the garden. So 3 feet and 8 inches. I'm the same size I was in high school, 5 foot 6 inches, weigh 130. 67 years young, says Billy Tyson. She is, yes. They're in her tool chest in the shop. They haven't, everything's been so crazy. They haven't worked on the truck much lately. I have a feeling once this first wave of the garden is just about over. Once that's done, everything's harvested. He will be planting a few more things for like a late summer into fall crop that he does every year, but it won't be as intense. The farmer's market will be done, all that. There's a few things that need done around here, and then he'll be able to focus some attention on them being able to really work on the truck again and get some more things done. So we'll see. You're so cute. I want to eat your face. Oh, so cute. I love this little cat. Bacon wrapped green beans looked amazing. Bugs makes them taste better. Yeah, they were really good, actually. Like, I mean, I didn't think they were going to be bad, but like they literally had nothing on them. It was just like green beans wrapped in bacon, throw it on the grill. Like that was literally it. Like there was no seasoning on them, nothing, but you know. But yeah, they were really yummy. I highly recommend it. And it was funny because the next day, because I think that was Saturday, right? Yeah. So then the next day we were at church And you do like after the announcements or whatever, and you do the like what you're grateful for or what you're in request of prayer for. Somebody stood up to like basically thank the congregation for something, and Frankie goes, because there was no choir. Well, they thought there was no choir, so they missed choir. So that's a whole nother story. So they were both sitting there, and she goes, "That's the guy," or maybe Mike said it. I don't remember. I think it was Frankie though. It was like, "That's the guy that told us about the green beans wrapped in bacon." And so after church, they went up and were like, "Dude, we made those and they were really good." So yeah, bacon wrapped anything makes it taste better. Yeah, like jalapeno popper, wrap it in bacon, even better. Like, yeah, all the things, right? All the things. 100%. Look at that little fluff ball. So cute.
It's Hades out there.
I know. Are you coming in?
Yeah.
Are you coming in hot?
Yeah.
Okay. I left my glasses over there.
Oh, it's warm out there, guys.
I'll let you read the comments for a little bit and I'll play with my cat.
All right. Where'd you leave off?
Towards the bottom.
165 in high school? I don't even talk about it. I was 145 in high school. I was 145 when I went to boot camp. I'll never see that again. Yeah, there were some pretty good steaks. Bacon, oh yeah, can't go wrong. The diva, call me the diva, Honeyman. I was outside sweating. What's diva about that?
Is Trey still picking green beans?
Nah, he left.
Oh, okay.
His mama needed him to go take care of some stuff.
Oh.
So I only finished. He was halfway through half a row. So I finished that half a row. And I still have a whole row to do. Plus, I got to at least mow another half of the yard before dark because it's going to rain.
Tomorrow it's supposed to rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is my tiny window to be mowing right now.
The rain has been ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. The rain's been killing us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she left off at bacon wrapped green beans. That was insane, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what. And I got, holy cow, so many green beans right now.
So many green beans. We should have raised a pig to rock them all, I guess.
Well, I'm planning on. I was gonna start canning them tonight, but Frankie decided she wanted to go do teenage girl thing.
Yeah, but now you're ending up picking on them, and you weren't planning on doing that.
I know. Yeah, we have one of Frankie's friends that she's on the color guard with. Is supposed to be here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 4 o'clock for a little while to harvest. Just because I still work full time, so it just helps. I mean, I still go out and do all the weeding and all the everything, but anyway. So she was here for a little while and had to leave. Didn't get it done. That's fine. But it's a lot. It's a lot. Got to get it done. But the bottom line is, I have put up nothing for us this year. Have I?
We put up chicken.
Right. Out of the garden, I've put up nothing for us.
You're a slacker. I'm just kidding.
I've been selling it every week at the farmer's market, selling out everything we grew. And I was going to put up okra, but then somebody called Sid and wanted to know if we had okra, so she sold them everything we had.
Yeah.
But
well, it was my friend that I played bunco with.
Yeah, but okra's coming
I have
in.
Your money back.
Okay. Okra's coming in every day, so we'll still get some okra put up. But right now we got about, I would say, a bushel and a half of green beans and a bushel of purple whole peas. And then we've got the stock that Sid made off of the 7 chickens that I parted out last week that needs to be pressure canned. So need to get a pig from the neighbor to have bacon. So actually,
oh, that's right.
There's a side deal going on right now. So a buddy of mine who is a cattle guy, y'all may have seen him in a video or two, Ross. He and another buddy of his who I've never met went in together on 3 Shire hogs. I don't know if they're Berkshire. I think they're Berkshire
I don't know
because
if they know.
he showed me a picture of them. They look like Berkeys. Anyway, they're decent hogs, and the other guy's raising them, but I'm gonna butcher them for them. I told him I cannot butcher more than one hog every 10 days because I got stuff to do. So we're gonna have to spread them out, and I'm gonna butcher them for them, and I'm gonna take 10% of the finished weight, not the hanging weight. 10% of the end weight of the protein. So,
because it takes a long time to like to process out a hog, to cure the bacon.
I haven't made a deal that I'm doing any curing.
Oh, I just assumed like you were doing.
I haven't made any kind of deal that I'm doing any curing.
Oh, okay, all right.
That could still happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind, but I get a little bit more. So anyway, yeah, that's 300-pound hogs this year. They should yield 60%, so 165-ish pounds. Somebody's got a calculator, will dial that in better than me. Per hog. 1, 2, 3, 120, 180, 95, call it 200 pounds. No. Call it 400 pounds. Finished between, it's got to be more than that. Somebody's got a calculator. They can do math better than me. Anyway, that's a good bit of pork coming. And I'll, whatever it is, if it's 400 pounds of pork, then I'm gonna take 40 pounds of it. That's not bad for butchering. Anyone else get booted when collectors ads come on? Oh, so some kind of an ad came on and you got booted off? That's no bueno.
They changed the setup in the live when I went to set up the live today, and I didn't mess with anything because it was weird on the one screen, on the ad screen. So I left it alone to see what would happen. Well, now I have my answer, I guess. So I'll play around with that.
It shuts the live off.
Well, I don't know, but.
So we need to like turn that off, whatever it is.
Yeah, I'll have to investigate a little bit.
I don't even care. I mean, if there was a way to turn off ads on lives, I wouldn't even care if we make $1 off of lives. This is just like, this is when we just chat, but whatever. We got to make money at some point, So, yeah. So there will be some hog processed on the property this year, and I'll be filming it. And I may wind up curing some bacon for them.
Making some ham, maybe.
Making some hams,
Other
yeah,
people
whatever.
Like ham. We don't like ham that much, but other people.
Whoa! Why you say we?
You don't like ham that much.
Oh, y'all see what just happened? She just tried to convince me I don't like ham.
I didn't say you don't like it. I said you don't like it that much.
No, that's you. That's you trying to convince me so that you don't have to be forced to eat it because.
But I don't like ham.
Clearly.
But you always said that you.
I like ham.
That's not what you used to tell me.
That's not true.
Did you just lie to get into my pants?
No. That is not
you were like,
true.
I don't like ham either, baby.
That is not true. I like ham. I'm the one that makes ham.
Yes, but you stopped making ham.
Because you don't like ham.
But you like ham, then why didn't you make ham?
Because I got tired of you telling me you don't like ham.
All right.
You see how hard it is to be a husband?
Duly noted.
Guys?
Oh, please.
I'm just saying.
Listen, I think your stories flip-flop.
No.
Listen,
they don't.
When I first met you, you told me your birthday was on the 27th.
You're never going to let this go.
It was like 3 years later.
You're never going to let this go. I've always known when my birthday is. You heard me wrong, or you're just trying to. What you're doing is you just keep using that so you can figure out when dementia's setting in.
For you?
For me. At some point, you're going to throw that out there, and I'm going to be like, when is my birthday? And then you're going to know. Time to put them in a home. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look how cute my cat is.
Yeah. Ham and tomato sandwiches. I've not had that.
I don't like ham.
Not salted, cured ham. Yeah. So my ham is salted, cured, and smoked. So when I When I freeze my ham, it's been smoked up to 145 degrees for over 2 hours,
I will say this.
and you can slice it and eat it cold.
His ham is the best ham I've ever put in my mouth. That sounds bad. We're playing that slowly in my mind.
Yeah.
But it is the best ham I've ever had. However, given the choice between ham and just about any other kind of meat, I would choose just about any other kind of meat. I just don't gravitate towards ham.
So, I mean, look, I only make ham out of like 5 muscle groups in the hind legs. And I make small hams. I don't make the big full country ham. I make smaller hams. I part out the muscle groups in the whole hind leg and make little hams. And those are the same muscles that are ideal to use for like breakfast sausage, English sausage, other options that she likes better. Like she likes English sausage, she likes breakfast sausage, you know. So we just stopped making ham and started making more sausages there eventually. But
And ground pork.
yeah.
That was more versatile. Like I could make more different kinds of dinners and so. And I would make like Italian sausage that like we could eat in pasta sauces and whatnot.
Yeah, I always like me some good whatnot.
Yeah. What does that say? So what you're saying, Sid, is Mike's meat is your favorite. Yeah.
See, I wasn't
That's
gonna
true.
read that out loud because it's a family show.
Well, I'm reading it from far away, so.
But yeah, I smiled when I read it.
I thought it was funny, Don.
It is funny.
There's nothing wrong about saying that.
Sorry to hear that, Billy. 12 years in November. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, so you know, I've considered growing a hog for us next year. I haven't really decided yet, but I don't know if if these other guys want to do a couple of hogs next year and I get the same deal, I might just do that. I don't know about 3. It always works like that. It's like, hey man, do you think you could butcher a hog for? Yeah, I can work out a deal, and then they say, okay, cool, we got 3. Well,
that's 3 times the work.
That wasn't what we talked about, but whatever. That's fine.
And you have to teach these boys how to butcher stuff because you always end up doing the deer and now the pigs.
Yeah, I don't understand. Some of these rednecks down
Country
here
boys
don't know how to butcher
survive.
stuff.
They don't know what to do.
I'm talking smack about my buddies now.
Right.
They'll hold, when your wife talks smack about your buddies hold it against you.
Okay, well, it's so funny.
Yeah. 3 hogs that need butchered right now, but don't know how.
Really?
That's a bummer because that's a lot of work. 3 hogs is a lot of work. Where are they? Our flipping homestead. Yeah, it's not happening. I'm sorry to tell you, I'm not going to come up there and butcher 3 hogs. Butchering 3 hogs is a lot of work.
I would start with 1.
Yeah, I butcher one hog
at a time.
Yeah. And I really I don't like to butcher a hog closer than 10 days apart if I'm curing anything because I have limited refrigerator space and I do 10-day wet cures and there's trying to butcher two and I don't even know what you say is ready to butcher. Like,
are they each 300?
Like, how big are they? Because a 300-pound hog is a lot of work.
If it's 3 American guinea hogs that are like smaller, it may not be as bad versus like, but I don't remember which kind she has.
Yeah, there's still an unspoken agreement that I'm not going to do hogs if I want access to a particular property where some hogs are already being grown and they don't want to risk any kind of cross contamination potentially. But again, I haven't decided yet, and all I have to do is just say, okay, cool. I won't go hunt on that. I won't access that property. So, they're like 300 pounds. Yeah. So here's the problem. Depending on what breed they are, if they're Berkshire or any of the Shire breeds, Yorkshire, Hampshire, really red wattle kind of falls into the same category. About 250, 275 pounds ish is when everything changes. They start acting more like a hog. They get a little bit more aggressive, a lot more aggressive at feeding time. And that is the moment when their protein to fat ratio changes. So every time you feed a young hog, you're putting on protein and a little bit of fat. Okay. You're growing that hog out. Once that hog reaches this certain stage, which is usually for me about 250 pounds, depending on the breed, once it reaches that stage, they start putting on more fat than protein. So you're wasting money every time you feed them. So you really,
that's fine, Marco. I missed it.
250 to 300 pounds, that's where you want to butcher them. You do not want them to get bigger than that. You're just wasting money. You know, red wattles. Yeah, no, I love red wattles. They've got a really, they're a fattier breed really than any of the Shires. Delicious.
Nice marbling.
Oh yeah.
Nice marbling.
Yeah, we were doing like red wattle crosses with Shires for a while, and they were delish. And we did at least one or two pure red wattles.
Yeah, Frank was pure.
They got a big fat cap on them. Ooh, doggy, you talk about making like, yeah.
I like the American Guineas personally.
See, for me, the American Guinea,
they do have a different fat cap. Like,
they're almost as much work to butcher as a 300-pound red wattle, and they're half the weight. So for me, as the guy doing the work, the Guinea doesn't make sense.
But they're smaller.
Yeah, but they're almost just as much work.
No, I know. I'm just saying if you don't have a lot of space.
I mean, each cut is a little shorter, but you still have to do all the same intricacies. So it takes the same amount of time to butcher an American Guinea as it does a red wattle or a Berkshire or Hampshire or Yorkshire. So, and you get less out of it in the end.
That's what she said.
Hi, Kitty. Hello.
Well, Kitty says it's time to go. Kitty says DD5 is on now.
Come on, Kitty.
You'll see your Gram Cow. I am Gram Meow, and he is Gram Cow.
Hello, Kitty.
Meow.
This is Toothless.
Yes.
What's up, Toothless?
We did introduction. Anyway, yeah. So, get investors to connect name with ad. Connected investors. Huh. Okay, I'll have to take a look at it. I don't know if that was just a glitch for that ad or what, but I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like they've changed. They've done something.
Well, there are things where, like, if you click on it, it takes you to wherever the website is. Like, that's with any ad. If you click on it, you click on the ad, it will take you to whatever the thing is. So I don't know. Maybe you hit it by accident.
I'm gonna go mow the yard now.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, go. Hey, Anthony, what's going on? Wide open in between the rain. I know, right? Whew, tell you what. We're just heading out of here. Don't forget to go and show DD5 some love. We will get to see them next week. I'm excited to see everybody next week. Anyway, guys.
Oh, freedom.
No, Michael, you had one job.
Yeah.
You had one job.
Oh, she's under the couch.
I know. That's why I'm like, you had one job. Okay, one job, sir.
Hey, you shouldn't have given me that job.
You took her. Anyway, now I have to go catch a cat from underneath the couch. So that's fun for me. Okay, guys. Appreciate you. Stay blessed. And remember, safety's off. Toothless. Toothless.